Two crazy bitches in this movie. I'm not a fan of Paul Feig's movies. I did enjoy the movie that he came out with in 2011, Bridesmaids. I thought that movie was quite entertaining and funny. It also introduced me to Melissa McCarthy, who I thought was very entertaining at the time, and I just hate her movies that she comes out with. And then Paul Feig did The Heat with Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock, and The Heat, I didn't hate that movie. I didn't love that movie. I thought it was okay. Then he did Spy, and when Spy first came out, I saw the trailers for it. I was like, oh, I hate Melissa McCarthy by this point in her movies. I just don't care. But everybody was ranting and raving about how good Spy was, and I just drank the Kool-Aid and I watched Spy, and I hated Spy. I fell asleep watching that movie. I do not like Spy. I don't know why people like that movie. The only funny bits in that movie are Jason Statham and the beginning with Jude Law, and other than that, that movie is an absolute train wreck. Then he came out with the horrible remake Ghostbusters, and that movie pretty much is universally hated by everybody, and I'm one of those people. I don't really hate the movie, I should say. I should just say that it didn't need to exist. I didn't find it funny or entertaining. I just found it rather dull. Now, Paul Feig, I think, has come out with the best movie in his career since Bridesmaids.
People do terrible things for their own reasons.
You thought you knew more than you were letting on.
I want to know your secret.
Quand j'étais petite, je me taisais comme une fleur.
This movie stars Anna Kendrick as Stephanie Smothers, and her character starts off as being really charming and innocent, but then as the movie goes along, we start to peel back the layers of her character and the depth of who she is as a person, and she is one crazy bitch. Blake Lively plays Emily Nelson in this movie, and she just immediately comes off as a crazy bitch who just doesn't give a fuck about anybody or anything but herself. And she plays it beautifully in this movie. I was very engaged with her character. I thought her character was quite interesting, and when the mystery happens to when she disappears, what unfolds later is very interesting. It did hold my interest, and I thought that Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively played well together in this movie. They acted perfectly. They were the highlight of this movie. They were the best performers in here. They played perfectly together. There's nothing more I can say. I would say that the highlight of this movie are these two little boys in here, Ian Ho and Joshua Satie. These two kids are fantastic in this movie, and I will say that director Paul Feig made a fight scene between these two boys seem extremely real and interesting. The story in this movie goes all over the place. There are so many twists and turns in this movie that I can't count them all. We have Anna Kendrick in here who plays, like I said, an innocent, sweet young woman, but then later on, she turns out to be a real bitch. All the things that we learn about her character in this movie are very engaging and interesting, and I enjoyed some of the twists and turns in here with her character. Blake Lively's character comes off the bat as just a straight up bitch, and she doesn't try to sugarcoat who she is as a person in this movie. And I liked Blake Lively playing Emily Nelson in here. And she even says in the movie that
Oh, you do not want to be friends with me. Trust me.
And that's just her being straight up as a person, and so I like that. She's a straight up bitch. And throughout the whole movie, she's this way. And I will say that within the movie, I would say Anna Kendrick's character, Stephanie, has more twists and turns going on, more so than Blake Lively, Emily Nelson character. Emily doesn't really have a lot of twists and turns in this movie. I mean, there's like a couple of twists that kind of don't really need to be in the movie with Blake Lively's character. I thought that they were kind of unnecessary. But it did keep the story engaging because I did not know what was going to happen next. Overall, I will give A Simple Favor a B+. I give it a B+ because, like I said, I thought the acting in here from pretty much everybody, Anna Kendrick, Blake Lively, the two kids, and a dumbfounded husband were great. They gave good performances. This is Paul Feig's best movie in my opinion since Bridesmaids. This movie kept me guessing, it kept me engaged, it kept me interested, I wasn't bored. Only negative things I can say about this is that, you know, there are a couple of twists and turns in here that I felt were a bit unnecessary and they didn't need to be here. A Simple Favor is a dark comedy. It is a dark comedy movie because it is a murder mystery, but then at the same time it's being funny, so it kind of throws me off a little bit during some of the more serious moments where I'm like, okay, are you trying to be funny or are you trying to be serious? But overall, I had a really good time with this movie. I think the story and the directing of how colorful the shots are really shines through in here. But other than that, I found this movie really engaging. So that's all I have to say. So as always, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.